What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios, back at it with another debate episode. Today's debate episode, we're going to be talking about Blue the Raptor versus the Xenomorph. So here's the plan, folks. We're going to go over the backstories of these two creatures, and once we're done analyzing them, we're going to put them up against each other in a death battle. So without further ado, let's begin with the backstory and analyzation of Blue. So, Blue is a female velociraptor who controls a pack. She made her first appearance in Jurassic World, and Blue is known to be one of the most intelligent of all velociraptors. So, here's the deal. Blue is estimated to be around 1.7 meters tall. Now, for her abilities, I'm going to do a quick skim. We're going to finish her off, and then we're going to come back to the abilities and do a deep analysis of every single ability, so don't worry. So right now, we're going to do a quick skim. Ambush, biting, claw, tail whip, high IQ in combat. Aggression level is high, territorial level is high, biome is earth. Now, let's go back to the abilities. So, first, obviously, we know that velociraptors are really good at ambushing their prey. And Blue in this instance is going to be the best of all the velociraptors in ambushing her prey. So for sure, ambush is going to be one of the best ways she's going to attack her prey. And so definitely ambush is going to be there. Now, continuing on, Blue is known to have a very powerful jaw. Obviously, nothing compared to, say, a T-Rex or an Indominus Rex, but for her size, her biting force is very powerful. So, in terms of biting, she can bite her opponents, rip flesh off of her opponents, and even, obviously use it as offensive and a defensive ability in terms of this biting. Now, with that being said, she can also use her claws, and basically claw into her opponents, which is, again, a defensive and offensive. If an opponent is on top of her, she can claw into the flesh and just rip up the organs if she could really stick her claw in the flesh. So, very good ability. She can also use her tail whip. She can whip her opponents from the feet and just bash them to the ground, or even hit the head and potentially get a good knockout in there, right? So all of this can be done. Now, with that being said, this is all physical combat, but to kind of add the cream to the pie, she has very high IQ in combat, meaning, of course, she can do all these good things: ambush, biting, clawing, tail whipping, but any monster, or we can say in this case, any dinosaur can do that, but not all dinosaurs can do them in a very effective way, and this is where Blue stands out. She has high IQ in combat, and she knows exactly when and where to use exactly each ability, and that's why it makes her basically an alpha, right? She's the leader of a pack. That's what makes her a master of all these things. So that basically sums up Blue, though, and Blue is a very cute little velociraptor, but she does grow to be very powerful. Now, continuing from there on, let's move on to the nasty world of the Xenomorphs. So, the Xenomorph is an alien species from the homeworld of Xenomorph Prime. They are carnivorous, tall aliens that are masters of hunting down their prey. The latest appearance of any Xenomorph was in Alien Covenant, and many other Alien films. My favorite one is the first one with Ellen Ripley. So let's go over the abilities. Now, I'm going to do a quick skim, same thing we did with Blue. First we have Stealth, Advanced Physical Combat, Acid Blood, Walk on All Fours. Now, Territorial level is maximum, Aggression is maximum, biome is space, height is 2.7 meters tall. Let's go back to the abilities now. So, Stealth. Oh yes. Stealth. What an amazing ability. We see the Xenomorphs do this all the time. They lurk in the darkness, slowly creeping behind their prey, and then boom, hit them with a strike, either with the double jaw in the mouth, or just completely use the back of the tail. They have a sharp end at the tail in the physical combat section, and they can just rip that tail right through the body and just kill the opponent right there. or even just to prey, not only the opponent but also the prey, right? So stealth, what an amazing ability they have. Now, advanced physical combat. Now these creatures are literally fighting machines. I have to put that out there. Their skin is almost impenetrable. I mean, it is thick, right? It is thick, thick skin. So when they're fighting, they are advanced. It's like a mixed martial artist who knows everything. That's what it feels like to fight a Xenomorph. And so when it comes to kicking, biting, tail whip, punching, all that stuff, leg kicks, these guys are masters at it. Advanced physical combat to the max. And what's so funny is, if you hurt a Xenomorph in any way, say penetrate the skin, their blood is pure acid, just melts through steel and will melt through any type of flesh and just eat it all up. And not only that, they can also walk on all fours, meaning they can walk on walls and all that stuff, walk upside down, and also use stealth in that case, or just attack their opponents in any direction, basically, is what it is. Alright, now that is going to sum up the Xenomorph. And by the way, just to put a kind of disclaimer out there, I know the form of Xenomorphs will vary depending on the host from the facehugger. We're just going to go by the general Xenomorph in terms of this video. Just a general big chap. Now, let's go to what we've all been waiting for, is the death battle. Now, here's the deal. For most cases, because I do giant monsters, I do far distance and close distance. Now, far distance, the reason why I do it is to test the abilities out of each opponent at a limited capacity. And seeing if some abilities are restricted at far distance, how could they win? In this instance, none of these guys have specific abilities of a giant monster to use, let's say an atomic breath or firing balls from the body and all that stuff. So we're going to actually skip that. We're going to go directly to the actual main battle, which is the close range. Now, let's take this into deep consideration though. Let's look at Blue for a second. Blue is 1.7 meters tall, while the Xenomorph is estimated to be around 2.7 meters tall. Now obviously it's not a huge difference, but definitely we do see a kind of small deviation between the two. And so the Xenomorph has the height, the reach, and all that stuff on its side. Now, when these guys attack, these are two alphas attacking each other. Blue is a menace. Blue is a great, fierce warrior, and is going to put up a good battle for the Xenomorph. Now, we have to say this though, the Xenomorph is almost protected on all sides, right? The Xenomorph not only is a fierce warrior as well, has protected armor, but not only does it have protected armor, the blood, if Blue bites into the Xenomorph, she is going to basically melt her own mouth. Now, face to face, these guys are going to try to ram into each other and fight, right? So, obviously the Xenomorph is going to win in terms of face to face ramming into each other, so it's definitely going to get Blue to the ground. Because remember, the Xenomorph is taller and has a bigger mass, so the force of hitting Blue is going to be a bit stronger. So Xenomorph is definitely going to hit Blue down, and the tail is definitely going to be able to hold Blue down. And this is where some stuff gets, the physical combat, just clawing into the opponent. Definitely Blue is going to use her claws as well. But what happens is, there's two things that are going to happen, and both of them are against Blue. Either Blue is going to claw into, somehow rip the guard and claw into the Xenomorph's body, and the blood is going to completely seep through and melt Blue alive. Or, most probably what's going to happen is the Xenomorph is going to pin Blue down and use the double jaw and just smash into her brain and kill her. In any way possible, I don't see Blue winning. I see the Xenomorph being the victorious one here. Although this is just my opinion, you can debate me in the comment section below. I'll be happy to debate you. I want to see other people's opinions. Thank you so much for watching, but just to kind of clear everything up, the Xenomorph is the winner. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great and wonderful day.